Amber J., one half of Motivational Brown Girls. And I'm coming to you today on this beautiful Saturday, whatever day or time it may be for you. But for us, it's 12 o'clock, noon, getting our teas ready, whatever drink we're going to drink today, and getting down and dirty into this March segment of Women's Month and just tackling different issues about women and just having those great conversations. I'm in the building by myself. Unfortunately, my partners couldn't be with me, and just want to lift up prayers for Lily Mae as she got hit with a little cold, but she's gonna be back. And also for those that are in the Richmond area, don't forget to check up on our TV show that's back on Season 3 of MBG Speaks 101 on Thursdays from 9 to 10 p.m. on Comcast 95, Verizon 36, so make sure you check that out. And, on that show, we talk about generational bias, just generational differences, and getting down and dirty with it all. We tackling it all. That's what we do. As always, MBG is here to motivate, inspire, educate, to be agents of change. This is what we do. So, of course, I'm in here by myself, but no worries. Still going to get the show rolling. Just want to do a little recap before I go into this segment of the thing. If you checked out the show last Saturday, we went into the angry black female stigma and the Me Too movement, and just that we dove into it. And the stereotypes, the different types of quote-unquote angry black women based upon what media is putting out in the shows, and also the Me Too movement, how the Me Too movement and the reasoning for it was started by, in regards to, sexual harassment, abuse, especially for, low-income women of color, but it didn't really populate until last year, and in regards to white women. So of course we discussed that, and we just took different routes on it. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you download the Spreaker app, put it on your phone, pull it up on your laptop, your desktop, and just check it out and listen to it, and leave comments, especially on our page on Facebook, Motivational Brown Girls, that's with the Y and the Z, on Instagram, Motivational_Brown_Girls, on Twitter, MBG 0716. Leave your comments about the shows. Give us your input, and we definitely address them on our shows. But we're kicking this Saturday off on this March 17th. We're going to get into some facts here before we get into the topic, and also just want to make 2 points here, because for those that listen and know me, y'all know I can, go left sometimes. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to Craig Mack. Craig Mack died on March 12th at the age of 46. Some reports are saying 47, but at the age of 46 due to heart failure. For those of you who do not know who Craig Mack is, Craig Mack was one of 2 artists on Bad Boy Records that pretty much put Bad Boy Records on the map. You had Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, and then, of course, you had Notorious B.I.G. With Juicy. So those 2 are pivotal in regards to Bad Boy, and Bad Boy being who Bad Boy is now, with Puffy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Brotherly Love, whatever he wants to change his name to nowadays. So that's want to say R.I.P. to him. So, if you haven't, popped in that Flavor in Your Ear, especially the remix or any other songs from Craig Mack, I know they've been playing it on the commercials, especially for I want to say it was the Ford commercial, where the lady is in the car, and she's pumping herself up about playing Craig Mack Flavor in Your Ear for her speech. So, excuse me. So, we send our condolences to his family. He's survived by his wife and two kids. So we just want to make sure that, his family is, in our prayers and things like that. We definitely are praying for him and be strong during this time. Also, we want to send our condolences to the family of Stephen Hawking, who suffered from ALS. He was a great mathematician, so to speak. He talked about the black hole, won a lot of prizes. If you don't know who he is, go ahead and Google him. He was very into space. He was a cosmologist, not cosmetologist, but cosmologist. Talking about the cosmos, and pretty much this dude suffered from ALS, where he lost control of his muscles, couldn't talk, couldn't speak, same thing, but, pretty much it got down to the point where in order to talk through a machine, he had to move his cheek muscles. I mean, that's how bad it got for him, and he was diagnosed with this at the age of 21, and he made it all the way to 76. Mind you, beating the odds, he got his doctorate and everything with this condition. I mean, nothing stopped him. So if you saw our post on Wednesday where we gave the shout-out on our Facebook, we asked what's stopping you. There's plenty of people out here that's able, moving about in the world, and this guy who was pretty much confined to a wheelchair, not able to speak, only could speak by moving his eyes or some type of muscle to form a pattern of words or a pattern of speech, so to speak. And he was able to do it and accomplish so much, being married, having kids and everything, all the way up to the age of 76. So, again, we send our condolences to both Craig Mack and Stephen Hawkins' family. And I just want to point out as well in regards to Craig Mack. Craig Mack died from heart failure. And to our black men that are listening, our African-American men, our colored men, whatever, any man, technically, be mindful of your health. I know in this hip-hop game, they're not lasting long. It seems like 45, 46 is the age now. And those that are dying at the age, that's pretty much my generation of hip-hop that I was listening to when I was growing up. But they're dying young, So just be mindful of your health. Don't be afraid of the doctor. Get those checkups. I know a lot of men dread that prostate check. Get that check too. I don't care. If you got somebody that's on you that's hounding you to go to the doctor, that's because they care. It's just about your health at this point. Forget about, be paying that money and, I just want your money. Be concerned about your health. I mean, change your diet if need be. Change your bad habits if you're smoking or whatever the case may be. But just check your health. Check your health because you never know. Something may be brewing, Lord forbid, and it might be too late when you find out. So please, please, please just check your health and don't be afraid if you're diagnosed with something. There's help out there. There's other people that may be suffering that can give you the support. Don't be afraid. And it may take you to make the changes that need to be to find a cure if whatever that you may have, if you're diagnosed with anything, is incurable. So I just want to put that out there to y'all. Also, this is Amber J's little rant right here. Of course, the tabloids is going around saying that Bruno Mars is, cultural appropriating. And I just want to address that real quick. Black folks, we need to stop hollering and screaming about people culturally appropriating our stuff when we don't really know what the definition of that is. Now, Bruno Mars, and y'all, we can always agree to disagree. Bruno Mars is not cultural appropriating at all. And why he's not is because he continuously gives credit when credit is due. Cultural appropriating, just looking at the word is appropriating culture, is faking the funk. Pretty much saying something that you're doing or wearing or acting is a part of you, which is not. Cultural appropriating, I can give y'all examples, is Amy Schumer stealing from a known black comedian, and not giving credit. That's cultural appropriation, in addition to stealing. Another form is Kim Kardashian putting braids in her hair and giving credit to Bo Dirt. That's cultural appropriating. We black folk was doing the braiding. That's the difference between Bruno Mars doing his thing, it coming off natural from what he listened to, him giving credit when credit is due, versus other people who are putting on, doing what, putting on, doing everything of the culture, but not giving credit to the culture. So y'all need to stop. Before you make an argument, make sure that you know the definition of what you're arguing about and have your facts. I mean, we can always agree to disagree, but in this case, Bruno Mars is not culture appropriating. I know some of us are mad about the Grammys, that he won the Grammy, for having the album of the year and everything and all of that, and we can argue that too. But at the end of the day, this man is not culture appropriating. If he wasn't giving credit and he was out here stealing and getting his, Robin Thicke on or his Justin Timberlake on, then okay, we may have a problem. I mean, people got all up in arms because Robin Thicke supposedly stole Marvin Gaye's beat. Sounds very similar to Marvin Gaye, but it's not Marvin Gaye. Just shout out to Pharrell for being a producing, engineering genius on how it sounds, because our show was full. But anyway, let's get into the meat of this thing. Of course, we're going to start off with some women history facts here. And because I'm a history buff, and that's what I like to do. So March 15th, 1993, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was born and became the second U.S. Supreme Court Justice and spent her legal career advocating for women's rights before taking the bench. March 16th, 1850, Nathaniel Hawthorne's Scarlet Letter was published, and he explored women's societal roles in Puritan Boston. That was also a movie as well. Very interesting movie if you haven't seen the Scarlet Letter. March 17, 2000, Julia Roberts becomes the first female actor ever to earn $20 million for a single film in Erin Brockovich. Now, if y'all seen the movie, Erin Brockovich was about a lawyer fighting for rights. But that's very interesting that Julia Roberts becomes the first female actor ever to get that much in one film. So it's possible. March 18th, 1964, Bonnie Blair is born and is a 5-time Olympic speed skating gold medalist and the most decorated female Winter Olympian in U.S. history. March 20th, 1852, Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel Uncle Tom's Cabin was published and becomes the best-selling book in 19th century. Now, I know when I was in school, what happened? They had us read that, or was actually on the list for us to read, but I think it since has been removed due to the language in the book. I think, it might have the word nigger or something like that in it, if I remember correctly, or I may be getting it confused with another book. But I know that was on the list for us to read. But nevertheless, what we're going to talk about today is masculinity and femininity, and the reason why we're talking about that today is because the media portrays this difference between masculinity and femininity when it comes to gender roles. And, we as women, depending on what's going on at the time, sometimes we're too much of a feminist, sometimes we're too strong, sometimes we're too aggressive, sometimes we're too soft. It's like we're too this, we're too that. There's never no middle ground. So, of course, we got our information from criticalmediaproject.com. You can definitely look this up. While researching this thing, we saw some stuff, and we're just going to go ahead and just, like I said, dive into it. According to Critical Media Project, sex is a system of classification based on a combination of biological and physiological factors, generally male or female. Gender refers to the cultural meaning that is ascribed to a person's sex, generally labeled masculine and feminine. Masculinity and femininity are the terms that are often used to identify a set of characteristics, values, and meanings related to gender. In our society, the values tied to masculinity have been generally seen as superior to those associated with femininity. From an early age, children are socialized and encouraged to perform specific gender roles and conform to gender roles. The repetition of gender narratives and images in media has helped to shape these cultural norms around what it means to be a man or a woman, masculine or feminine, which is very, very true. It's all throughout the media. It's all throughout shows, it's gotten to the point where shows in like Love and Hip Hop, like, the side piece, very sexualized, versus the man can have as many as he wants and be the man and be superior and be dominant. But as soon as a woman does that, it's kind of like it's too much. So there's never no middle ground. Or it's reversed. Maybe the man may be too sensitive. He's in his feelings because society, media, it shows, the man can't show no feelings. So there comes a middle, where's the middle ground of everything. So there's characteristics that has described masculinity and femininity. So he's going to jump into the masculinity part. Masculinity is described, according to, again, Critical Media Project, as strength, dominance, aggression, independence, empowerment, active, rational, thought, production, breadwinner, subject, outdoors, technology. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that. Strength, dominance, aggression, independence, empowerment, active, rational, thought, production, breadwinner, subject, outdoors, technology. Just let y'all marinate. Femininity, weakness, submission, compliance, vulnerability, dependence, disempowerment, passive, emotion, consumption, nurturer, object, indoors, nature. I'll repeat that. Weakness, submission, compliance, vulnerability, dependence, disempowerment, passive, emotion, consumption, nurturer, object, indoors, nature. Sounds like the opposite of each one, right? However, I'm quite sure when I spoke those characteristics that several people, male and female, fit both roles or characteristics, masculinity and femininity. I'm quite sure some names came to mind. There are men that have came off weak, submissive, vulnerable, dependent, passive, and been a nurturer. And for women that you may know, active, empowerment, technology, production. So it's interesting to see that these are opposites, but yet both genders, male and female, I've come across, and I'm sure you all listening have come across, have mixed. Whether one might be stronger than the other, but it's mixed. Both have strength. Both can be dominant, depending on the situation. We're taught that the man, is the head, and he's over the family. He's headstrong, dominant, and men go out here in the world and try to be that alpha male. However, an alpha male doesn't stay alpha all the time. And what I mean by that is if you're in a relationship with an alpha male, he's going to go out here and be that alpha male and do what he needs to do in his role. But when he comes home, usually the woman becomes alpha because he needs to just chill. Being alpha all the time can be exhausting. And if he has a partner that understands that he has no problems with submission and just calming down and letting be. Just give an example here. So like I said, both can be dominant depending on the situation. Both can be aggressive depending on the situation. Women, sometimes we have to be assertive, which comes off as aggressive in the workforce to get that equal pay or to get paid what we're supposed to get paid or to be heard in the workplace. Because the perception is, you got to be mindful, you got to be soft-spoken, especially if you're a black woman in the workplace. It's very, very hard, very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just very exhausting. Both can be independent, empowerment, active, rational. Like, just looking at these characteristics, both male and female can be either one. Which one is the strongest of the other? It depends on the person. You might have a person that may be more submissive than dominant, and it may not be a female, it may be a male. It just depends on the person. So, Critical Media Project gave several questions, call to action on, the representation of masculinity and femininity in the media and the images that are being portrayed, and, as a society, what can we do? There are different groups, different organizations that are not liking the portrayal of women, especially black women in the media, especially how men, women are being portrayed in the media just as a whole, and, the specifics of the gender roles and how everybody's supposed to act and do, and what can we do to combat that. We always say here at Motivational Brown Girls to be yourself. If yourself, how you are, is not detrimental, like if you're dominant, assertive, aggressive, whatever, but it's healthy, it's balanced out, then continue to do that. If you have characteristics that may be a little bit stronger and it hasn't been working out for you, then by all means work on that. Work on that. They say boys will be boys, girls will be girls, whatever the case may be. You will be you. You know how you are in the role that you play, and you may wear many hats. And many hats may consist of, one may have to be submissive, one may have to be dominant, one may have to be, aggressive. Either one could be the breadwinner, depending on the role. It just depends on who you are, what hat you wear at that time. You have you as a whole, your whole makeup. But when you step out, you might have a role of the head of a wife, mother. You may be the breadwinner, or you just maybe you want having whatever position is at your job, counselor, friend, sister, brother, niece, nephew. Different hats where different characteristics may play a stronger part than the other, but at the end of the day, is it healthy? Is it balanced? Like I said before, one is over the top than the other, then you may want to look at that and be like, okay, why is it that I keep doing this as a female or as a male or whatever, and what can I do to combat that or make that a little less overbearing? That's the things that you have to do. Again, it's another self-reflection, look in the mirror, so to speak. But guys, again, this is Sipping Tea with MBG. On this beautiful Saturday, it's just me, Amber J, rocking it out. Like I said, my colleagues are, they're not here with me, but they're here in spirit. Again, y'all give prayers for Lily Mae as she's, getting over this cold. This weather hasn't been friendly to anybody. I was sick. She was sick. I kind of wasn't feeling too well, and she got sick. And, it's just been a lot going on. But, again, we still keeping this train rolling. And, again, check us out on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you like, share, comment. And, again, if you have any topics that you want us to discuss, by all means, let us know, and we'll tackle them because, again, that's what we're here for. We're here to inform, educate, motivate, and inspire for you to be agents of change. And, again, for those in the Richmond area, Metro Richmond area, don't forget to check out every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. on Comcast 95, Verizon 36, MBG Speaks 101. We get grimy and dirty and cruddy and everything you can think of, and just getting into just talking about those hard topics that's hard to talk about, and coming together, not necessarily to agree to disagree, but just to get a better understanding of things. So again, this is Amber J, and as always, MBG listens and then we speak. Peace out, guys.
Take my